Peace to you, peace to me. Let us build a strong.
I discovered that before I can start work and make any meaningful progress, there was need for me to go around, get to find out what is going on, see the environment myself, interact with Royal Highnesses like you and distinguished members of citizens of Edo State and other people, other citizens, other tribes that are resident in Edo State. Most of them have been cohabiting very peacefully. And I have been to Urudu, where they had an issue. But I discovered that the governor has been very proactive. His Excellency Senator Monday Agbonika, by the way, is my namesake. He traveled to Kano State to appease the people in Kano, and as a kind of return, the Deputy Governor of Kano State came with him to Urudu in order to, on behalf of representing the Kano State government. And when they arrived, they addressed all the members of the community, and I, as a security professional, I could tell that the visit was very timely and it had the required impact. So we can say that there's reconciliation taking place in Urudu. But the problem is not just an Urudu problem. It's a problem, I had to look at it, and we are talking about the Hausa communities or the northern communities that are settled in Urudu. But there are also neighboring areas like Auchi, where we have a high settlement. So I felt when His Excellency was going back, I had to tell him that I was not going back with him. I had to stay back and go around to all the other neighboring communities so that I can do the same thing that has been done in Urudu to ensure that we don't have any reprisal attacks, and also to ensure that we have peace. And in the process, of course, I want to use the opportunity to kill three birds probably with one stone. I decided to look at the problem, the security problem we have around the area. It's very clear that we have kidnapping issues, kidnapping problems, and we also have these herders, farmers problem in some areas. And then I looked at the environment. We have these formidable forests where when kidnapping takes place, they go into the forest, and we have our neighbors also, the Kogi state boundary and probably Delta state boundary and all these things. So I'm beginning to take stock of the problem that we have on ground, and I assure you that when I get back, we are going to come up with a strategy that will address the problem. But this strategy, it's very clear from the beginning that for us to make any impact, for us to make any meaningful progress, we need to have everybody on board. We need to have the traditional institutions on board. We need to have members of the communities on board, the citizens, the settlers, if you like, the Hausa communities, everybody, the vigilante, with the military. In fact, before I left, when I arrived in Benin, because I'm a fellow of the National Defense College, one of my housemates is the commander of the Air Force at Benin, Commodore Victor. I went straight to him and told him that I needed his cooperation because there's no way I can deliver this mandate without his support. And he, of course, we are on the same plate now. I also met the brigade commander, and I'm very sure that we are going to have a good working relationship. In fact, the governor supports that we work together, and I already saw on ground that we have a good template already working together. So I'll just leverage on that, and see how we can progress very well. So your Your Royal Highness, the suggestions you gave, I want to say that they are very excellent, and I've taken note of some of them. I'm going to work with them. But there's something I want to add. I want to add that whatever measures we take, we have to do something right. And that is when we are trying to identify who the stakeholders are in the community, we must take that process very seriously. The process of identifying our stakeholders, because if we don't get our stakeholders right, we will not be able to achieve success. You were proposing about the vigilante group. I have seen the way they operate. I have also seen the way the police work with the vigilante. But I discovered that the vigilante group are purely indigenous. So I will need your support, because I'm going to His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Edo State, with a recommendation that we should include other settlers among the vigilante. Let us have the northern dwellers also as part of the vigilante group. Let us, instead of starting another vigilante group, what I find on ground is okay, we can reform it. I agree that the traditional institution should also come in. We should have some level of control. The police should take the vigilante totally under their wing. And while doing that, we should not just have for instance, in Uromi, when I saw the vigilantes, they were all Asian people. So if we have a vigilante that is policing the Uromi community, and in the Uromi community consists of some Hausa Fulani dwellers, some Igbos, Yorubas, and so on, we should have representatives of these things, because it is in line with the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that we should, when they say federal character, they are probably talking about the whole country. But in this case, maybe state character, so that we will, if we can work together, because even the incident that happened, assuming you had some Hausa Fulani members of that vigilante, and like you said, if we have policemen also in that vigilante, probably it will not have happened. So let us look at that, because this is early days, just 4 days here, but I'm beginning to see that there's a lot of work. I think for the next 3 months, we'll have to be running around to see how we can bring this down. I'm also talking with my neighbor at Kogi State, the city of Kogi State, my consulate, and I started discussing with him, because when the kidnappers when they pick their victims, sometimes they cross into Kogi State, and when vigilantes and the police from there are going after them in the forest, the moment they cross over to Kogi State, they feel that it's out of their jurisdiction and there's nothing they can do. But if we are working with my Kogi State counterpart and probably Delta State counterpart, if they cross over to Kogi State, they will just run into the hands of the police there. So we are all working towards the same aim, and because if they get there, they also create a constitute problem for the other states. So thank you very much for this opportunity to address an important gathering like this that is based on security. Presently, I will tell my police public relations officer to give my contacts, because I have directed from my arrival, I see that there is a need for us to have accountability among the men. So I have directed that all the DPOs will inscribe their phone numbers on the walls of their police station. It's not just giving the place or anything, no. I want a station where if a vehicle is passing on the road and there's a police station on the road, from inside the car, you can take the number of the DPO from the wall. And anytime there's a call, you'll be able to respond. Because when I was a DPO, I did that, and it helped a great deal. If my boys are trying to extort money from members of the community or trying to cause problems, I'll just get a call and I'll be able to put it right. So I'm also giving my own number to the communities, I'm going to publish it in NTA. I've told my the PPRO so that Your Royal Highness, I hope the members of the community would make good use of this dedicated numbers that we're publishing, so that we will only be getting calls when there are serious issues. And with what the governor has done, I found that the police alone has 14 brand new vehicles that are met on ground. They are all for response, the response operation. And the operation is a joint one. We have the military component, we have the civil defense component, and the idea is to respond when we have any distress. But I'm looking into how they are positioned and how they are operating, so that we can reform it and get better view from them. So thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.